Live Tuesday, May 16th from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. This is Fantasy Dominance Now. Come dominate fantasy sports with us. And bringing you all the tools to dominate is Soap Stash, the new soap standard. Like them on Facebook, Soap Stash LLC. Find them online, soapstash.com. And for ordering information, call 844-890-3197. From the best soap in the business, we are the best fantasy minds in the business. Happy conception to Antonio Cromartie's 14th child.
That's amazing.
14.
14?
14.
Jesus.
His 14th child. He might have to have his penis amputated at this point.
Dude, he already had a vasectomy. This is his second kid off a vasectomy.
Apparently somebody didn't tie nothing right.
I mean, supposedly vasectomies are only 72% efficient.
Really?
No, 98%.
No, they're not that high.
Dude,
No?
they're snipping your
Well,
nuts.
according to this post that I saw on HDRadio.com.
They're not that high.
Well, anyway, thank you ever so much for joining us. We have Killarney's number one regular,
Hey.
Mike Kleinkoff.
Hey, what's up?
We have the aspiring superhero, Brian Daly.
What's up?
We got healthcare reformist, Doug Pitchford.
Yeah.
Yo, bring that shit back.
And I'm Rod Povey. And Matt Cinsuti is bringing you all the fantasy dominance from the producer's chair. What's up, gentlemen? What's going on this fine Tuesday? Beautiful Tuesday in Jersey.
Just another beautiful day, man. We've finally gotten some nice weather, so see where it takes us.
Amen.
Absolutely. A couple things I'm going to shout out really before we get into the nitty-gritty of the show. Want to wish happy 48th birthday to the great Emmitt Smith. He just turned 48 yesterday, all-time leading rusher in the NFL. Yeah, you know I got to bring it out, man. Got my brother Joe tuning in. I got to throw Cowboys in the first minute or so. It's a requirement.
Sounds like Doug's getting a cold. He sneezed.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Are you okay? You need some airborne?
Nah, man. It's just I'm allergic, man. I'm allergic to homerdom. I don't know.
On a serious note, offer condolences to the family of Powers Booth, legendary actor, passed away yesterday, was it, or the day before?
I believe it was the day before, yes. Definitely condolences.
Yeah, I mean, just legendary. I mean, so many movies. The first thing that comes off my mind is Deadwood on HBO. He was absolutely fabulous in that. But, any movie in the 80s and early 90s, Powers Booth was in it for the most part.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, it's just it's sad, I mean, but unfortunately, it's part of life, I mean, he lived a rich life, so
Yeah.
definitely condolences to the fam.
If we could all be so lucky, right?
Amen.
Real quick, I'd like to give a shout out to my dad and the CPO guys watching today. So there you go. There's your shout out, Dad.
Nice. I like it. And everyone out there, we'll give a shout out to you. If you want in on the dominance, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You search HDRadio.com. If you got fantasy questions, tweet at us with the hashtag AskFDN. I'm at Robbie Blitz. Doug, you are at
StatMagnet85.
Mike, you are at
Mike_Kleinkoff.
And Brian, you are at
Brian_A2D Radio.
Hit us up individually. Hit up the station. Hit up the show's Twitter at FDNA2D. Just hashtag AskFDN. We'll get to your questions live on the show, or if it's after the fact, we'll help you dominate DraftKings, Fanduel, or your respective leagues. In terms of the show today, we got a great one in store for you all, as we do always. I don't think I'll ever say it's not going to be great, but this one I'm especially excited for. We're making our Mount Rushmore of Cooperstown. Which four players belong? Not so easy of a question as I found out on Sunday, so I kind of wanted to bring it to our show, have you guys chime in on the top four all time. We're discussing fantasy baseball strategies specific to droppable players, returning players, and when it's appropriate to add that injured player. Talking a little strategy behind the ads today. We also have NBA playoff talk as the Warriors used a huge second-half rally to take Game 1. And we'll definitely recap a wild game, Game 7, Celtics-Wizards last night. Celtics 115-105, I believe was the final.
Yes.
Just off the top of my head.
It was a pretty phenomenal game.
Yeah.
I was flipping back and forth between that and the Penguins game last night. So
Wow. Yeah.
two great games.
Absolutely. First, we're talking fantasy impact of the 2017 NFL Draft, the main topic of the day. We asked you on Facebook and Twitter which member of this year's draft class will have the largest fantasy impact. Will it be Leonard Fournette, Corey Davis, Christian McCaffrey, or Jamal Williams, who maybe some of you aren't so familiar with? Doug, I think, is going to get us very familiar with the Green Bay running back. It's an interesting question. Of course, there may be others. You feel free to chime in, comment on Facebook, hit reply on the tweet, or vote for the one of the four that we put. We'll get to the results later on in the show, but I want to turn it over to my panel. Brian,
Yes, sir.
who's your number one guy? Who's going to make the largest impact in fantasy football in 2017 out of this draft class?
Personally, I think he's going to be Corey Davis, wideout from the Tennessee Titans. He's a big guy, 6'2", 209 pounds, put up over 1,500 yards in Western Michigan last year, 19 touchdowns. He's a big, fast receiver, great hands, great concentration with the ball. He's very elusive, not afraid to challenge the D-backs for the ball, not afraid to take a hit. He could have a really good career with the Titans. The one thing that I'm looking forward to the most is he's probably going to be the team's number one wide receiver out of camp, and he gets to play with Marcus Mariota, who's one of the biggest up-and-coming quarterbacks in the league.
Lots of availability, lots of opportunity for Corey Davis.
Absolutely. The only other receivers they have on that roster right now is Rashad Matthews, Tajay Sharp, and Harry Douglas that could compete, but I don't think they're going to.
I love Tajay Sharp though. That kid's got hands like magnets, bro.
He showed his potential towards the end of the season. Beginning was kind of shaky, but towards the end he started lighting it up.
He showed flashes in the beginning. I mean,
Yeah.
the catches were all there. It's just more like he didn't have that big game.
They were more focused on the running game.
Yeah,
I mean, with DeMarco Murray and obviously Mariota, a running quarterback.
And don't forget Derrick Henry. I mean,
that's very true too.
Yeah, don't sleep. Like they just pound.
Yeah, I think one of the Sharp's biggest problems was yards after catch, and I think that's something Corey Davis is really good at.
Agreed.
And that's where his elusiveness is going to come into play. He's going to get himself free. He's going to get yards after the catch.
I like it. I do. I think Corey Davis is definitely going to make an impact on this team. And I think he's obviously a day one starter too, with probably Sharp inside the slot and then Matthews on the other outside. So,
Yeah.
Oh, no, definitely agreed there.
What say you other guys?
well, I'm going with one of my guys. It's might be risky in the beginning of the season because we don't know if he's going to be that starter yet. But if he is that starter, Christian McCaffrey, to me, I'm going to tie him in to a guy that we know as Danny Woodhead. I could see him catching the ball out of the outfield like he was with the Los Angeles Chargers now. But, he's just a very good guy. He's good running back. He's got great hands, and that means great for PPR leagues. Most of the leagues that I am in are all PPR leagues or even half PPR leagues like I believe yours is, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
And, one of those guys that's what you need. I mean, this guy could probably catch 6 or 7 balls out of the backfield, and I could just see him, having a very good season here in Carolina, and I think he fits in great with this offense. So, yeah, he's probably my top guy right now if it's PPR league.
I could definitely see that. I think my guy, though, even though he's much lesser known, he's a very, not quiet guy because, I mean, the numbers are loud. If you don't know who he is, he's Green Bay Packers 4th-round pick, Jamal Williams, BYU running back. Averaged 5.9 yards per carry this season. Did that over 234 carries, 1,375 yards on the season with 12 touchdowns. You're talking about a guy who's more of a physical running back. You know what I mean? He's a north-south runner. He's not a dancer. He's got some breakaway speed. I believe he ran like a 4.5. I think he ran like a 4.5 740. So he's not fast, but he's not slow. The guy can't run away from people. He's not small either. 6 foot, 200 and I had it right. 212 pounds.
Yeah.
6 foot flat, 212 pounds. He's a bruiser. He's not playing. He doesn't play games. He lowers the shoulder, gets his 2 yards, and doesn't really care. And that's what Green Bay needs. I mean, look at what
they need a running back.
Well, look at what they did. Look what they did with Eddie Lacy year one, because that's what Eddie Lacy was. He's a north-south runner, bruising running back. Will take a pounding, give a pounding, and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
You have he's basically what Eddie Lacy should be in shape. So I think this guy's gonna be huge this year, especially if he can beat out Ty Montgomery. Granted, I really love Ty Montgomery.
Yeah,
I think he's legit.
He filled in great. He looked really good, especially in that late stretch that they needed him.
He's a big dude.
And he killed me. I could tell you that. The guy that I was playing for my third place, to finish in third place, he put up like 32 points in that game, and just absolutely killed me. But
I mean, dude, he's 6'4".
Great player. Yeah.
6'4".
I mean, he's a wide receiver, so he's another guy that's great for PPR leagues.
Agreed.
You know?
Agreed.
So he could do it both ways. He's going to get you receptions and he's going to run in the backfield too. But, hey, Jamal Williams is definitely a sleeper. I do like the pick. I mean, it's definitely Green Bay's weakness right now is that run game too. So
yeah, well, that's you know what I mean. I think that if he doesn't start the year off as a starter, I would definitely draft him. But I mean, he's a guy I'm handcuffing to Ty Montgomery. Like I'm taking them both, and I'll just see where it shakes out, so to speak. But I love this kid. I think he's legit.
He definitely fits the MO of what Green Bay has been looking for in the running back position. And look at James Starks, Eddie Lacy. They go after that big bruising north-south type of running back, and Jamal Williams kind of fits that MO.
Absolutely.
We got Mike Kelly chiming in here on the book. Hands down Fournette for me. He will be leaned on early and often. Davis is on a run-first team. McCaffrey will be used in balance with other weapons, and Williams on a pass-first team and currently second-string running back. Do you agree that he's currently the second-string running back?
No. I mean, I think he would have to earn that spot. I mean, he is a rookie. You know, nothing is given. That being said, though, I think that it's an open competition. I think that they drafted this kid in the 4th round for a reason. I do believe he's going to get a crack in the preseason at taking this job from Ty Montgomery, a wide receiver by trade. It's gonna see what happens. We'll see where it shakes out. You know, these are the types of guys that always end up starting the season off as starters, and these are the types of guys that always end up starting the season off strong and, you know, being those sleeper type, like serious, like sleeper type players. So, you know, regardless of you know, anything, I'm definitely keeping an eye on him all year, all preseason.
Right. Where I do agree with Mike is my pick for which member of this draft class will have the biggest fantasy impact. Absolutely Leonard Fournette. I mean, he's going in a great situation with Jacksonville. You could say, well, there's other running backs there, T.J. Yeldon, Chris Ivory. T.J. Yeldon's a bust. It's a bust. He's going to fade out into anonymity. And Chris
Ivory did.
Yeah, he already did, really. Chris Ivory is Chris Ivory. You know, good, solid, change of pace bruiser running back that can sub in, maybe take some goal line touches away.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, Leonard Fournette's going to get a lion's share of those carries, assuming he stays healthy. You know, he is coming off of an ankle injury in college. Usually when you hurt your ankle pretty bad once, it's always susceptible again. But if you assume that he plays 16 games, I'm estimating between like 200 and 220 carries. I know Mike personally, I talked to him in a group. He's thinking he might even get up towards the 250, which
I don't see that.
You don't see that? Not as much as 250. I'm closer to the 220, like I said.
I don't even think he cracks 200. I don't think he's going to be able to stay healthy. Like, because my question to you guys are very high on him, which I do see the talent. Talent's there. That's unquestioned. My concern, do you think that offensive line's good enough to actually let him get that many carries? Because, I mean, like, we're talking about guys who aren't that – like, Chris Ivory's got talent. He did well. He did very well behind a very good New York Jets offensive line. That's why he got the money he got from Jacksonville. But you saw he did nothing in Jacksonville. And you saw why, too. I mean, Blake Bortles, one of the highest sack quarterbacks in the league, too. That offensive line is not very good. Like, do you think they've done enough in the offseason to make Fournette that guy?
They've helped. Not enough. But that's not going to limit the carries. That may limit the resulting yards. Like I see Bleacher Report is projecting him at 1,250 rushing yards. I think that's too high. Yeah. I think if he breaks 1,000, he'd have a great season because of that O-line. I mean, all those carries should result in yards, and this is a bruiser back. He is strong yards, yards after the first contact. So, so I mean, he's been a lot of comparisons to Adrian Peterson. I mean, that's
a comparison.
Gold standard, really, and you look at Yeldon and Ivory in terms of injury, to your point, they've combined 11 games over the last 2 seasons missed due to injury. So I think it's a situation for all the running backs. But in this case, it's hard to predict an injury, but I think he has a great chance of seeing 16 games and seeing 16 starts in that games. And what better guy do you want to draft in fantasy football that puts out that level of activity?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you there with Fournette. I mean, I think personally, maybe to 1,250 yards is too much, but I can see him cracking 1,000. I have it written here in fine ink. So, I mean, I could definitely see him hitting that 1,000-yard mark and probably 8 or 9 touchdowns, believe it or not.
I
Yeah.
can see the 8 or 9 touchdowns.
touchdowns
That's
will be easy.
Yeah, touchdowns will definitely be easy, 8 or 9. I don't think
Unless Ivory chips in on the, like I said,
Yeah.
Vulture.
potential vulture situation there.
Oh, he'll be his Michael Bush to Fournette's Matt Forte. I remember those years. Those make me so angry.
But I was at
So
Gillingsley
angry.
last year. Gillingsley was taking a lot of carries away from McCoy last season with the Bills. So
Yeah, he's another touchdown vulture.
yeah, he was a steal your girl kind of guy, man.
Yeah, I got Leonard Fournette at 800 plus rushing yards and 9 touchdowns on the season. The only other thing that I'm worried about with Leonard Fournette is they have a pretty good passing game when it's on with Allen Hurns and Allen Robinson.
Yep.
So the question is how many times they're going to throw the ball too a game.
What you're going to see is more effective balance. More effective balance. You feed the ball to Fournette a little bit, it's going to open up. You're not going to see as many problems, having nickel packages against you, and Bortles getting picked off a lot this year affected Allen Robinson's fantasy numbers. I think you're going to see an equal balance, but in order for them to be successful, I really think the Jags need to be a run first, and then you just hit Allen Robinson down to the post all day, and he'll have a phenomenal season too.
I honestly think that's what hurt the passing game last year with Jacksonville is they didn't have an effective running game. They couldn't change the pace.
Exactly. And some of that, to your point, Doug, is the offensive line. All that being said, I say Leonard Fournette's the first rookie that's picked in most drafts. I think he'll make for a solid RB2. I think definitely RB2, certainly a flex.
Yeah.
I'm projecting him. I'm going to go over the 1,000 mark. I'll go 1,060. 8 TDs sounds good to me. But I think on top of that, he's going to probably chip in 20 to 25 receptions, probably like 225, maybe even get a touchdown in the air too, because he's shown good, not great hands, not maybe as good as, say, Christian McCaffrey, because who is better than Christian McCaffrey in this draft in terms of route running and hands, but pretty comparable, certainly much like, all the comparisons he's getting to Adrian Peterson.
True. Very true.
Truth.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just got this funny feeling about it. I don't know. I just don't like this. I don't like the fact that he landed there. I never have. I just think it's a bad fit. It's a bad team. It's a bad team for him.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm very leery of it. I'm probably just gonna stay away from that altogether. I don't trust it. I can't trust it.
I don't know if I could trust the Jaguars offense.
Yeah.
Considering what they did to me last year.
Yeah.
But, me being one of those guys that actually kept Allen Robinson over a couple people, and it absolutely screwed me because I think I had him in 2 leagues, actually. So that killed me there. But here's a guy that none of us has mentioned, and I could see going into our other column, is Mike Williams with the Chargers.
Oh, yeah.
I think, to me, he might be the best wide receiver for fantasy out of the rookies this season. Phillip Rivers has been one of the best fantasy quarterbacks in the last couple seasons. And, Keenan Allen with his injuries, what's he going to be? Well, he won't be anything unless, Mike Williams is on that side too. So I think them two working together, I think, is a great duo for Rivers.
And has Keenan Allen stayed healthy one season?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think, we could almost predict that Allen's probably going to be hurt again this season. So to me, it spikes up Mike Williams' value.
Either way, he can't be hurt. Because Keenan Allen's playing, he's getting the lion's share of the attention in that secondary.
So
he'll thrive.
Up Williams, yeah.
Otherwise, he'll be the number one, see a lion's share of the targets, even if he is getting double covered. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
I just think that he's a great fit there. He's got a good good quarterback to work with. So, to me personally, Mike Williams is probably the best position for wide receiver. I would think he's got that great veteran quarterback. As much as I don't like Phillip Rivers, but he's been one of my quarterbacks for years. He's one of the guys that I've actually had as my quarterback for a couple seasons now in most fantasy leagues, and he's done pretty damn well, with what he's been given around him. So
Yeah, I feel like he's always had some form of talent around him. Now he's got Melvin Gordon. He had Antonio Gates for a long time. He had Darren Sproles. He's always had talent. My issue with this team, and unless you have you play defense on in fantasy individual, that defense is so weak they can't close out a game.
Yeah,
they showed it all for the most part all of last year.
That's more the reason why you kind of want an offensive player from the Chargers, because maybe not so much to come from behind games, but you're going to need those guys. It's going to be high-scoring games between these guys because their offense is great, their defense isn't so good. But
it's improving.
You know,
it is improving.
I'm not saying it didn't, but it's just they're going to. It's going to be very high-scoring games, which I think is going to help for Mike Williams and the rest of the Chargers offense.
Yeah, I think a combination of – I think that will definitely help the Chargers offense. I think that another full season of Melvin Gordon, like this version of Melvin Gordon, if you can repeat what he did last year, I think that'll greatly help.
We need to make sure he's healthy too, because, the end of the season injury, is definitely a great concern. So
yeah. And, I mean – continuously seeing the end zone, because in 2 years prior he couldn't sniff the end zone. Last year it was getting like 2-3 touchdowns a game, it seemed like, to start off the season.
Yeah, you had to make up for it. You make up for lost time.
Exactly.
Like
so which version
touchdowns?
do you get? Which version do you get this year? That'll be a question that'll affect the Chargers and fantasy owners. Will he have sort of like the Bryce Harper syndrome where MVP 1 year falls off the next,
What'd they say? He's projected 200 and something runs this season with what he's doing right now. He's 40 runs, 12 home runs, and 37 RBIs already.
Wow.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, Bryce Harper crush.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my keepers for years to come.
I don't think that. Why would that be a question?
No, I'm just saying, man. People were questioning it last season. They're like, "Wow, do I hold Harper?" Yes.
Well, I mean,
he's one of the best young talents in the league
for his power aspect, but his average last year blew.
Yeah, but
everybody has a bad season though.
I mean, you just hit the nail on the head. He's one of the young stars.
Exactly.
He's already been in the game like 4 years. He's been 5 years. But he's still a young star.
And
he's
still 25?
If that.
No.
24.
If that.
He's like 23.
He's that young?
Yeah.
He broke into the majors at 19.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was drafted in high school.
Yeah, he's Miguel Cabrera. Everybody forgets Miguel Cabrera is only 32 years old, 33 years old. He broke in at 19.
He's been in the league so long.
Yeah, that's 19.
Yeah, that's why I'm happy I grabbed Aaron Judge while I did.
Mm-hmm.
In my league that I do with my manager at work, that's a 10-person keeper league. So, yeah, it's a tough league, man. It's category too. It's not point wise like us.
Right.
So it's been pretty tough.
For the big boys, huh?
Yeah, man.
Let me ask you about Dalvin Cook. He goes into a crowded situation with recently signed Latavius Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Still have Jerick McKinnon, good change of pace back. What kind of impact will he make this year? How much of an opportunity will he have to make that impact?
I really don't like his situation. There's so many running backs there.
Mm-hmm.
I think obviously Latavius Murray is going to be the main starting running back. But then again, I talked about that PPR thing with, the PPR leagues with McCaffrey. I think, he could be in that situation as well. I think he's going to be more of that third down back, the guy that could catch the ball out of the backfield. And other than that, I mean,
he's got hands for days.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He's one of the best that came out of this draft.
Right.
So, I mean, that's where I see him with that. But starting running back this year, it's all going to be Murray unless he goes down.
Right. I think Dalvin Cook has more talent than Latavius Murray. I think he is the most talented out of the trio. So it'll all depend on performance. It's Murray's job to lose. He'll go in as the starter. But if indeed he does not perform, I think that goes directly to Dalvin Cook. It skips over Jerick McKinnon on the depth chart. So for me, I think he'd be worth a mid-round flyer.
You think he just skips right over Jerick McKinnon on the depth chart?
As a lead back, yeah, I think so.
I don't think McKinnon was really all that strong last year. He didn't really show anything.
Right.
He had 1 or 2 games last season where he got you, the touchdown and 100 yards.
It kept Matt Asiata employable. That's the only reason why. Yeah. If he could have took that job, Asiata would have stayed cut.
Which sucked because it was when you picked up McKinnon, Asiata got the 2 touchdowns, and you're like, shit, I need Asiata now. So I go and pick him up, and McKinnon goes for the game. I'm like, come on. Who's your starting running back here?
They didn't have one.
Oh,
That's
God,
a simple
he was
answer.
hurt. It was horrible.
No, I don't know, man. I don't. Dalvin. I like Dalvin Cook as a player. I think he's more of a change. At least for Minnesota, I think he's more of a change of pace back. I don't see him getting too many carries. Like obviously he's.
I was going to ask you, what do you project for him?
I project maybe like 50 or 60 carries, maybe 300-400 yards, couple touchdowns, nothing crazy, nothing quality. Because I just don't see. I don't see. Well, I don't.
That's
I don't
not a mid-round flyer.
No, that's not a mid-round flyer. I have no faith in Dalvin Cook just based on the situation he's in.
Yeah.
Run-heavy team, but they're a power run team. He's not really a power run type of running back. I mean, that's not what they ran at Florida State University. That's not what he's built as. He's more of a track and field type of running back, Jamal Charles type, you know what I mean? Get him out on more towards the edge, get him moving in space. And that's not Minnesota's game, so I just don't see him as an effective lead back there.
No, I'm with you there.
I think he can win it, though. I think he will win it, and I think maybe 100. I think he can get up towards 160. Like he's still gonna have to spread the ball around a little bit, but I think 750, 800. He's definitely going to get his receptions and yards. No matter what, whether me or you are right, he'll get that.
He'll definitely get some.
Definitely get that.
Maybe a little lower on the TDs though, because that's where I can see. You know what I mean? Maybe 5 rush, 1 in the air. Because you have the other options, and I would be banging it in with Latavius Murray, on the goal line.
Bigger body.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of carries, man. I mean, Latavius Murray going to be pissed. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Gentleman's bet?
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
$1.
Well, I mean, look at it
Trading
this way.
Awesome.
Latavius Murray last year had a little bit of a rough start getting his yards, but he was always getting touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So you get down to the goal line, who would you rather go with? That small guy, or would you rather go with the guy that can bust through that line? And started the season last year with the first 5 games, he had 6 touchdowns or something like that?
Yeah, Murray all day.
Yeah, let's just say I'm just going to try to stay away from anything in Minnesota this season.
So
probably
Jacksonville's
a wise
out
decision.
and
Wise
Minnesota's out.
No, Jacksonville's not necessarily out. I would say Minnesota's probably out, though.
Right. How about this other guy that a lot of teams stayed away from all the way to the second round, the infamous Joe Mixon in Cincinnati? What kind of impact is he making this year?
I don't think he's making any, to be completely honest with you. You still got to worry about Giovanni Bernard and Jeremy Hill in front of him. Jeremy Hill has been getting better every year, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to be seeing much, if anything, this year.
He
just very
fits,
crowded.
Yeah, he just fits right in with this team. I mean, Pac-Man Jones just pleaded guilty today. So I'm sure he might be going to court soon. Yeah, I mean, I just think he's a great fit for Cincinnati. I mean, obviously he's going to go to jail soon, and but fantasy-wise, I mean, it's definitely hard with the 2 other guys in front of him. But I don't know, man. I think that team's probably an injury away from him starting, and I think eventually he probably will earn that role. I mean, he's, like we said before, he might be the best talented back that came out of this class. It's just we were concerned with what was happening. Mm-hmm. I think maybe he could have been drafted where Fournette was drafted in that 4th spot by Jacksonville, but
he should have been drafted in that 4th spot by Jacksonville. He fits. He's a.
Now you're putting him with a bunch of other cellmates, so it's just.
Well,
Tell me how you really feel.
I hate Cincinnati, man. I used to really hate Baltimore, but Cincinnati's that top tier team that I just can't stand. Like, it's the same thing with hockey. I mean, like the Flyers, I could not stand the Flyers, but now it's like Washington. It's like that's that rivalry, and Cincinnati's they just want your blood. That's all they want. They don't even want to play football at that point. They just want to hurt you. So.
They just want to, knock out your number 1 wide receiver.
Right.
Yeah.
There has been some talk that the Bengals are shopping around Jeremy Hill. If and when that does happen, that obviously spikes up Joe Mixon's value.
Definitely.
Assuming, let's talk hypothetical real quick. We don't talk many hypotheticals on the show, but let's say they do trade Jeremy Hill, right? Does that make him draftable, and if so, where?
Late.
Yeah.
I would say late.
Still late.
No, it's middle round. Middle round because he's a starting running back. You're not starting Giovanni Bernard if you're trading away Jeremy Hill. Like you're trading away Jeremy Hill because he's now your starter.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeremy,
but
maybe a first rounder in dynasty leagues.
Has to be a first rounder in dynasty leagues.
Has to be.
Just feel like Cincinnati's more of a passing team.
Yeah.
I mean.
Even if if they don't trade Jeremy Hill, he still has to be a first rounder in fantasy league in dynasty leagues.
Truth.
Yeah.
I mean, no. I feel you. I feel you. I think you really hit the nail right on the head there, because their offensive line, very poor play last year. A lot of fingering, and when we get into our power rankings, I'm going to elaborate on that point. So we'll put a thumbtack in that. But that does limit how many rushes you go, and maybe more Dalton dropping back. But they weren't protecting him very well either, or whatnot. So, do they take a step forward? I think could directly result a lot of the fantasy relevant players on the Cincinnati Bengals.
I think A.J. Green staying healthy is going to have a lot to do with that too. He's spent the last couple of years getting hurt. So you lose A.J. Green, there goes your passing game, and you got to rely on your rushing game.
I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because there is a guy in Cincinnati we haven't talked about, that another guy that I actually want to bring up. I love this kid. I think he was one of the best players in the draft. John Ross. Best route runner in the draft. Fastest guy in the draft.
Yeah.
No,
it's definitely going to help him out. I think that's why I'm saying more of like Joe Mixon to me right now is too much of a risk. But like you're saying with John Ross, I don't think he is at all. I think he's going to take that spot from Brandon LaFell, easily. And then you got Green on the other side. I just think that, they're
very
going to be
explosive.
Yeah, they're going to be more focused on their passing game than they would their running game. Of course, they're going to run the ball at least 20 to 25 times a game, but they're going to be in the air 30 times a game too.
Right, but you're not – and, I mean, this is a kid that's not like – he's not what is it, Ted Ginn Jr., where he's just fast and he's got hands of stone. Like, you're talking about a kid who had the best hands in the draft, in this draft class. He was the most polished receiver in this draft class, and you were able to get him at 9, below Mike Williams, who was taken, 5 by San Diego?
6'5", something like that, yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, granted, he is only 5'11", $188, so he's kind of a smaller guy, but
track
I
athlete.
mean, he's just explosive.
You believe in those hands?
I've seen the hands. He led. I believe he was second or third this season in college football in terms of catches.
There you go.
Like that's hands.
Yeah.
That's all state.
By
hands.
the way, it was 7. Chargers was a 7.
Thanks.
7.
Yes.
Gotcha. Briefly, we covered some running backs, wide receivers. Let's give some other positions a little love, quarterback and tight end. I'm going to start with the tight end. One guy I'm really huge on for drafting in your fantasy leagues is David Njoku with the Cleveland Browns. They had a desperate need for a tight end. They get him, and talk about an athlete, just a bruiser. The really new style of tight end where it's a big body but can run routes for days and certainly compete with the wide receivers. I think this is a guy that can give you 50 receptions, 500 yards, and anywhere from 4 to 8 touchdowns, depending on how much they utilize him in the red zone.
Yeah.
I just really liked him in Miami, really strong specimen. So I think a lot of love went to O.J. Howard. This is the guy that I would target ahead of O.J. Am I smoking crack, or am I accurate?
You might be a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, the crack is whack, bro. Put it down.
Yeah, personally, I might go O.J. Howard better. I think he's got a more secure quarterback.
Right.
But, I mean, Njoku is not a bad pick either. I mean, he's definitely, you're another later guy, but who's the quarterback in Cleveland right now? That's the other
job.
Yeah, it's Kessler, but then you also have him.
Kind of like Kessler, though. I kind of like him a little bit. Not to own in fantasy, but I kind of like him.
So
He's got grit.
It's just a toss-up right now with their, positions. So
No, I'm definitely leaning O.J. Howard personally.
Yeah,
I like the offense.
Personally, I just think he's in a better situation.
Cameron Brate, though, you're worried a little about that.
New England Patriots.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. They set up that offense New England Patriots style. You got the
two tight end set, and it's going to work great.
And you got the 2 wide receivers that are playmakers on the outside. Like, I mean, you're just going to beat people up that way, and you can run the ball a little bit.
Yeah, if you got a healthy Doug Martin, this offense is going to be explosive.
And
man.
that defense is still pretty good.
Yeah,
and it's
dude,
young.
I'm scared about them this season. I think the Bucs can make a good push this year. To be honest.
That being said, I would never draft a rookie tight end to play on my fantasy team. No, it's just proven fact. I mean, there's what is it? It's been there's like no there hasn't been a fantasy tight end that's scored more than like I think 13 fantasy points as a rookie in like the last like 12 seasons. It's not worth it.
It's a position that was very depleted last year, though, so it's hungry for some new meat and some new blood.
Definitely.
But I'm with you on that, though. It's tough to really, I mean, that's your safety blanket, and you're putting your safety blanket for your team in the hands of a rookie. So
It's tough.
I dig what you're saying. Quarterback-wise, maybe the same thing could be said. Are you drafting any of these rookie quarterbacks this year?
If the only one
Nope.
if anybody else wants, you want to go?
I mean, I might take Deshaun Watson because he's
There you
he's in a pretty good situation. He's got 2 good running backs. He's got 2 good receivers. He's got a fairly solid tight end. I mean, I think he's got the best situation of all the rookie quarterbacks.
That's exactly where I would go too.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. I mean, in a dynasty format, I mean, I would definitely, to switch gears, I would definitely take Patrick Mahomes though. Automatic. He's the first
Definitely.
quarterback off the boards, Patrick Mahomes. That kid's legit.
Couldn't agree more with
First
you
of the
there.
rookies.
Oh, yeah, first of any rookie
Definitely,
quarterback.
I
yeah.
think he's going to be left in the best situation, best
I'm
team.
talking dynasty anyway.
Yeah,
so.
probably
I got you.
the
I got
best
you.
head coach, in Andy Reid
Right.
for a quarterback anyway. So
It's tough, though, because the Chiefs don't throw a lot. I mean, maybe they will with Mahomes.
no, but he's a gunslinger.
Yeah.
The kid's got a cannon.
You got to utilize
Dude,
his
his
strengths.
dad was an MLB pitcher. I mean,
Right.
this guy knows how to throw.
Right.
Hey, he just sees Brett Favre.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just need to
Gruden's
get him-
camp.
Just need to get him some weapons out there in Kansas City. I don't think they really have any good receivers out there. I mean, solid receivers.
I like the kid Tyreek Hill. He's
Tyreek
he's
Hill's
solid,
nice. Maclin's
but-
Jeremy
solid.
Macklin.
Jeremy Macklin.
But not.
he's out there.
Yeah, he's out there.
I like Travis Kelce too. He's a great tight end. Man.
But he's fallen off. I'm not blaming you why you forget.
Injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelsey. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you can't forget about Kelsey. Kelsey's I think he's one of the best, if not the best, tight end.
And he'll help out a rookie quarterback very well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very,
All right,
very
speaking
well.
of, since we're talking tight ends, I want to throw one more guy out there. This is another guy I'm really, really high on. Jake Butt. Everybody forgets the
From
butt of the
Michigan.
joke, man. Yeah, man. This kid probably was the top tight end coming out in this draft class until he got hurt. Fell to the 5th round to Denver. Great situation for
Fifth
him.
round.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Great situation for him, though. He's on a team where, they're a contender. He's really got no one in front of him. He can, rehab and then take that job. Do you draft? Is he worth drafting in standard leagues this year as like a obviously your backup tight end as like a flyer or?
He very well could be, but that was a position last year. Well, just the wideout and tight end position on Denver that was kind of shaky, throughout the season. I mean, I was an owner of Manuel Sanders, and one day he'd get me 4 points. Another day he'd get me 35. It's like the quarterback, and it's another place where a quarterback situation is very shaky. It's just I don't know. It's very tough. It's very tough. But other than that, I mean, I think that's a steal in the 5th round for Denver to draft him there. I mean, the guy's, like you said, he was one of the top-rated tight ends before the injury, and just overall, I think he's a great tight end.
Agreed.
But, yeah.
Backing up to Deshaun Watson real quick, because I was just reading there that it's projected that Tom Savage will be game 1 starter.
Oh, he's a savage.
Right? Is that true? Does he win the job? Or does he win the job within the season? Or does he not see the field that much?
I give it 4 games.
4 games?
I'm not even giving it 4 games. I think Deshaun Watson's going to show what he can do in training camp, and he's going to come out with the weapons that he has. He's going to revamp Hoskins' career, and he's going to get Fuller to play to his full potential. I just think he's an overall better quarterback than Savage.
I mean, he should be, but to throw a guy into the into the wolves like that is definitely tough.
Yeah.
So I mean, the division that he plays in isn't so tough, but
Yeah.
which is great for
and
him.
I think that's
but
the best I think that makes the situation a little bit better, just because he's not in the toughest division in football.
Yeah, I know. I totally agree with you, but to me, it's hard to rush a quarterback that has great potential right into a lineup as your first day starter. I mean, granted, Tom Savage is definitely not the best guy to be learning from, but to me right now that's his spot, and I think, like I said, I give Watson. It's going to be no more than 4 games.
I'm not comparing him to Wentz, but I mean, it worked out well for Wentz, throwing him right in. It's a different schools of thought.
Yeah,
really.
definitely.
Do you want to learn how to be a professional, how to learn the team's playbook and really, nurse them along and not throw them right to the wolves, or do you learn by doing, jump into the fire?
I've always been a firm believer, and this isn't always the case, but you learn by doing.
Right,
What better way to learn the speed,
right.
especially the speed of the NFL? You're gonna be thrown to the
Oh
wolves.
yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just it's very tough. It's a tough situation. I mean, he's definitely a quarterback that you could draft later. You know, I think he should be available in those late round picks. So
depending if and when he takes the starting job, let's say it is 2 games in, 4 games in, or whatever. I'll say anywhere from 275 to 300 completions. I think he could break the 3,000-yard mark. I'm not a believer in his pro style, but him throwing from the run, certainly. Is he going to be, this year's Dak Prescott? Not quite, but that's where he could really shine, probably even be better than Dak in that regard. Maybe put up 17 to 15, 17 TDs to 15 interceptions, something like that. And then, certainly get some yards on the ground.
That was definitely an issue in college, was turning the ball over, but
not as much. I mean, it was a smaller issue, but not as much as you think. It was much earlier in his career.
Maybe it was just an overhyped kind of thing. But.
Yeah, it was earlier in his career. I mean, I believe the last 2 seasons, I think he combined for like 11 turnovers in 2 seasons with as much as he handled the football.
Yeah.
That's impressive. And for as much as they've asked him to do in that offense. I don't know. I'm a big believer in this kid. I think he's the truth. That being said, I think if Houston's smart, they don't play him until at least 6 games in. Preferably you just get him out. You don't play him this season much at all, just to, because your team's good enough to get to the playoffs without him. You've already done that.
Yeah.
You've gotten to the playoffs with much, much less than Deshaun Watson. So there's really no need to rush the kid in there if he's not ready. But I do believe he'll be ready. He'll probably be ready game 1, but I don't think you get him in there till game 6.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you for the most part. I think their defense alone got them to the playoffs because their defense played really well all season long. But I think the one thing that really hurt them was having Brock Osweiler at quarterback last year, having Tom Savage at quarterback last year. That was their one weak point. I think they could be a 10, 11, 12-win team with Deshaun Watson at quarterback.
Brock Osweiler.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
$72
that's not
million
bad.
man.
That's not bad. I mean, 10 like an 11, 12-win team. That's an improved. That's definitely a 2-3 win improvement. But
Right.
I mean, they're able to win 9, 10 games without him.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That defense is really good. So I'm not as I just don't think they should do it. That being said, watch he'll start like
He'll
you
start
said.
week 1.
Week 1.
Damn it.
Mataraki on the book is agreeing with you in terms of the poll question. He goes, McCaffrey, best situation for his skill set. So, I mean, he's certainly.
Yeah.
I agree.
Where you drafting, Christian? I don't think we ever answered that.
No, but it's tough. I mean, I always hate drafting rookies early.
Mm-hmm.
But a guy like him that, if he is that true starter, which I think eventually he will be, maybe like I don't want to be like too late on this, but maybe like 8th or 9th round.
I could see it topping out at that because, too, especially if your league has you get points for punt kickoff return yards, touchdowns, things of that nature, doesn't go all to the team defense. If it does, I think that really solidifies where you're saying.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a big part of his contribution,
Yeah,
I feel.
He's definitely a great talent. And, for this season, I think, he's going to be definitely one of the top running backs. Point-wise.
Oh yeah, he's definitely going to be
overall point-wise.
I agree. I think he's going to be a top 10 back easy. I don't think he starts the season as a starter though.
That's my issue.
I don't think he starts the season as a starter, but I definitely see him by like the 3rd game taking the job, whether it's through injury or what have you.
We saw what happened last
Jonathan
year.
Stewart gets injured a lot.
Never healthy. I mean, we saw that last year and the year before and probably the year before that.
He's a great change of pace back. That's why he's
Yeah.
been in the league so long. I mean, you forget he was the number 2 to D'Angelo Williams forever, and that running game was nasty. Like that's what he's best at.
Will, man. Free agent still.
Mm-mm.
He's done, man. He's a little.
Dude, he's still good though.
He's
I was
still
so much fun meeting that guy. He was so happy. So happy to be there. Man, that was awesome.
He just said he loves life, bro.
Selfies with D'Angelo, man. That was great.
Highlight of your year.
Hell yeah.
Nice, bro.
Any other names we forgot, or you had research you wanted to spill out to the peoples? Or we cover it all?
Yeah, where's my
pretty
guy
much?
covered all the big ones.
Kareem Hunt, man? Nah, you forgot the best one.
Kareem
Kareem
Hunt.
bro. Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
I believe he was a 3rd-round pick. Toledo running back. He was, widely considered one of the sleeper backs in this draft. You know, he's one of those guys who's a combination of speed and size. You know, he's 5'10", not like, you know, tall, but 216 pounds, bruiser. Talking about a guy who ran again, you know, somewhere in like the 4.6s, 4.5s, like 4.5, 4.6, 40. Like, you know, this is a guy who fits an Andy Reid style offense.
Yeah,
with,
big time.
Being able to hit the hole, you know what I mean, find the hole. More importantly, you know, lay to wood.
He could pass Charkandrick on the depth chart and be behind Ware now that Charles is out of town. Another guy, too, that you mentioned running backs because we didn't want to make it all running back heavy.
Right.
But you got Deontay Foreman with the Texans. You also got Alvin Kumar with the Saints, too.
He's getting nothing, man.
Dude,
he's done.
That's such a bad pick for the Saints.
No, that's a great pick.
I mean,
for the Saints.
it's a good pick, but fantasy-wise, I'm thinking like it's just so bad because you already got Hightower and you got Ingram in front of him too.
Right.
And now you have AP.
You forgot Peterson.
AP's there now,
That's
too.
true too. All right, so yeah, he's definitely screwed. Just throw up a goose egg for his season.
Keep him on the watch list.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a next season pick, bro.
Yeah.
Dynasty League pick.
Absolutely. Second round Dynasty League pick.
Yep. Last question, boys, for this segment. Did you know 36% of all Mother's Day and Father's Day gifts are homemade? I don't know. I was just looking that up online now with Mother's Day just passing, in case you snoozed out on your mom. And maybe you're looking ahead towards June 18th, you know, Father's Day. I got the great gift, all one house, and it's from the people at Soap Stash, the new soap standard. They sponsor our show, but I use their products every day. They make soaps, shampoos, beard oils, anything you need cosmetically for men, women, children. And the great news is 100% natural, fragrance-free, and just great for your skin. No phthalates, parabens, or any of that junk that you get with the other soaps I'm not going to make mention because they don't pay me to. So,
Very good.
So SoapStash wants you to contact them today for your sample package. You get a little taste of what they have to offer before you order big, and they'll hook you up and give you what you deserve, what your skin deserves. Give them a call, 844-890-3197. Look them up online for their selections on soapstash.com. Check them out on Facebook, Soapstash LLC. That's actually where they prefer you to order. So hit them up, check them out. I wouldn't guide you wrong, just like we don't guide you wrong here on Fantasy Dominance Now, here on A2DRadio.com. On the other side, we're going into a little way too early power rankings for the NFL to cap off our discussion. Then for all you people tuning in for fantasy baseball strategies and you know, basketball FanDuel strategies, we got your back here. Keep it there. We'll be back 2-3 minutes.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard. A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to today's Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com, being sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accountants. Give them a call, schedule an appointment, 215-369-3300. They're there for all your tax needs. It's been a vivacious show so far, talking about the fantasy impact of this year's draft class. If you're just tuning in, you can go back to the beginning, or you can stick with us live as we stick with the NFL, and we'll get into a little way too early power rankings, based on how they drafted, what offseason moves were made, so on and so forth. And our power ranks are brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center, located 5 Carnegie Plaza, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. If you're looking for expert tutelage for your son's baseball league, give them a call, 856-889-3434. Look them up online. Scanzanosports.com. So, boys, maybe we'll go 1 through 10. Take a brief pause, kind of analyze a little bit, move on from there. I'll start it off. I got Pats at 1. I don't think that's a big surprise there. I actually got the Falcons at 2, not just because they were in the Super Bowl last year. I like just the diverse amount of talent on that team and how they drafted. 3, I got the Oakland Raiders. They came in at 11 last year at the end of the year. I think they jump up to 4 because, beast mode. Beast mode's a great addition. I think that's an upgrade even in his older age to Latavius Murray.
Yeah, drafting Garyon Conley too.
Yes.
With no, problems with that case there. I think that's a great draft pick for them.
Right. Plus you're getting a healthy Derek Carr back too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's the more important pickup right there, man.
Yep. I got your Steelers moving up to 4. They finished last year 5. I think they slot in right behind them. I got the Cowboys at 5 this year. I think, I've seen them as high as 3. I'm not willing to put them there. As much of a believer as I am in Dak, you got to see it again. That was his rookie year. League is going to make adjustments. That one's great offensive line has taken a couple hits with retirement, injury. The defense has taken a lot of hits, but what I'm excited about is they get
A woozy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, certainly drafted him or whatever. I was going to get to him, but Jalen Smith too.
Yeah.
That's going to be a huge asset that they had on the team, but didn't see the field last year. I got the Packers at 6. I got the Seahawks at 7. I got the Chiefs at 8. I got the Buccaneers at 9. And I believe it or not, I actually got Washington up to 10. A guy we didn't talk about per 9 that they drafted. I think will be a good asset to their running back core. Rob Kelly was a nice aberration last year.
Yeah, he was
definitely. So that's how I see it in the top 10. Doug, you got your top 10?
Oh yeah, mine's a little different. I base mine off of like you said, moves, things like that. Obviously, Pat's at 1, reigning defending champs. At 2, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're talking about probably the most talented roster.
You just gave me the chills.
You're talking about the most talented roster in the NFL. You got Big Ben another year. You're getting the boy back.
Yeah.
Martavius Bryant. This offense is going to destroy people.
Dude,
I have them at 2.
I love that we drafted Juju as well. Smith. Dude, I think that was such a steal getting him in the second round.
Can't believe they got him in the second round. I actually have Green Bay at 3. Any team with Aaron Rodgers in that offense, you have to respect. Granted, they are a little weak on the defensive side of the ball right now, but I have a lot of faith in Aaron Rodgers. I think he's going to bounce back and have a big-time Aaron Rodgers type season, especially with no more Olivia Munn. He's got no more distractions. At 4, I have the Seahawks. As long as that defense is intact, they have to be a top 5 team in this league. I just see another great season out of Dak Prescott, just the offense progressing forward as a whole.
Oh, you got the Cowboys. Got it.
The Seahawks.
Dak Prescott's a Seahawk?
Oh, did I say Dak Prescott?
Yeah.
I meant Russell Wilson.
Oh, yeah. They're interchangeable. I mean, you all look alike, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
I could say that because it's my boy.
Funny enough, though, I got Dak.
Smack.
Smack. Funny enough, I got Dak at 5, which is probably why I did that. I got Dak and the boys at 5. Impressive season. I just see them continuing to progress. I just see him getting better every game. It's going to be awesome to watch. At 6, mind you, I do hate the Cowboys, but I'm a huge Dak fan. At 6, I got the Broncos. Von Miller. I just see that team, moving forward. Hopefully they find a quarterback this year, but I see them still strong even around that. At 7, I have, the NFC representative, Atlanta Falcons. I think they drop off a little bit, in my opinion. I think there's going to be some Super Bowl loss hangover there. I could see them struggling early. Yeah, exactly.
Such a shame.
At 8, I have the boys, the Raiders. They took a little bit of a notch up for me, especially getting beast mode. And Derek Carr healthy. I almost said David, messing this up all over. At 9, I got the Arizona Cardinals. I like that defense getting healthy again. Granted, they did have a big loss in the offseason up front. But in their front 4. That being said, though, I still believe they can overcome that as a unit. And what was it? 8, 9 is the Bucks. 10 is the Panthers.
Wow. Panthers up to 10.
Yeah, they're still a good team, man. They're very good defense, and they're healthy again.
That's going to be key. And one more year for those cornerbacks to get seasoned.
Yeah. And I think Christian McCaffrey's a big difference maker, too, for the running game.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Truth. Mikey.
Right. So, number 1, obviously New England. 2, this is where I have Oakland. 3, I have Atlanta. 4, I have Pittsburgh. 5, I have Green Bay. 6, I have Dallas. 7, Kansas City. 8, Seattle. 9, Tampa Bay. And 10, I have Tennessee.
Tennessee. Yeah, it looks like we're all pretty high on Tampa Bay because they were in your top 10 as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
I wasn't sure about it when I put them there, so that's why.
They're definitely a team to look out for.
That offense is nasty, bro. Yeah. I'm thinking about Tampa stacking
if
this
Doug
year.
Martin could stay healthy this season, they might definitely top 5 offense.
Wow. Yeah.
I buy that for $1, Alex.
Brian, who's your top 10?
As everybody else, I got the New England Patriots at 1. I have the Falcons at 2. Needed to focus on defense. They got a really good offense, but that defense needs to step up, and they need to close out games, i.e. Super Bowl. Number 3, I have the Packers. They're a well-oiled offense. They need to find a running game, and I think they found it. but they needed to retool their secondary, and I think they did that in the draft too. I think they did that pretty well.
They're pretty good.
Number 4, I had the Dallas Cowboys. They're a good all-around team. Needed to improve on their secondary as well, and I think, again, they did that in the draft. Seahawks, I have at number 5. Steelers, I have at number 6. They needed another team that needed to improve some aspects on defense, which they did.
Yeah.
And, they're one of the best overall offenses in football. New York Giants, I have at number 7. Number 8, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. At 9, I have the Oakland Raiders with the healthy David Carr. They're good receivers. They're good defense. And now they have beast mode. They're only going to go up. And at number 10, surprisingly, I have the Miami Dolphins.
Wow. Okay. That's the first one. What's your reasoning there?
I just think they're an average team in a bad division, and I think that kind of like boosts them up a little bit. I mean, their offense is okay. I think their defense is better than what they actually are.
Oh yeah, no, and they're already pretty good too. So
right,
yeah, I get you.
Right, and I guess I need to see more from Tannehill, and I think we're going to see more from Tannehill. I think he gets better every year.
I think about it too. I think Miami could be a division winner, not in that division.
I mean,
10
wins last year.
Right.
Yeah, I mean they played great.
Yeah.
Too bad they lost to the Steelers in the playoffs. What a shame.
Yeah, what a shame.
Oh, you mean the Matt Moore game?
Yeah.
Where he died and came back to life one play later?
Dude, he got annihilated.
Absolutely. All right, going to our middle pack. I'll start off 11. I got Tennessee. 12. I got Detroit. I think they finished actually 9th in the power rankings at the end of last season or whatnot. So this is actually
great
a drop
offense,
down.
Man,
They do have a very good.
When is Matt Stafford finally going to win a freaking playoff game?
I think their biggest problem last year was running back not staying healthy. They played the running back shuffle last year all year.
Right. I forget his first name, but Washington. Really,
Denzel?
Yeah, Denzel. He's actually he retired from acting. He's playing for the Detroit Lions. Fantasy wise, just cannot stay healthy throughout the season, but he's got enough talent to take over that lead back. And then you got Theo Riddick too. Great change of it's good offense. Miami, I got a 13, Brian. Just ahead of the New Orleans Saints at 14. I got the Denver Broncos at 15. I got the Colts at 16. I got the New York Football Giants at 17. They were actually the 7th most powerful team last year at the end of the season. But I think I'm not really impressed with their draft. I don't think they really hit any of their needs. Well,
I think they did with Evan Ingram at the tight end position, which to me was.
I'm not a big fan of.
A lot of people aren't, but to me, I think that was one of their biggest needs was definitely tight end.
Oh, absolutely. So they addressed it, and I just think they misaligned that. Like I would have went Njoku or even OJ Howard. I mean, I don't know if OJ wasn't available.
Howard was, but Njoku was.
Yeah, that's who I would have drafted. I was very surprised when they grabbed Esham.
But you know what though, Esham he's a big guy though with a big catch radius. I mean, at this point in Eli Manning's career, he's not the most accurate guy anymore. He never really was the most accurate guy to begin with. So you'd need a guy that's got that catch radius that he has. I mean, he's got like a 7'3" wingspan. So like it makes sense. That part of it made sense. He's huge. He's 6'7".
Yeah. Huge, humongous.
He's huge. I'm talking freaking huge.
At 18, and this is where I might catch some flack, I'm putting the Cincinnati Bengals at 18.
Not far from where I have.
Oh, really? Well, then we're all smart here because ESPN's got them at 23.
Yeah, I think that's too low.
That's a little
way too low.
Way too low.
As much as I hate them bastards, it's too low.
Right. Well, it's easy for people to forget that the Bengals made the playoffs 5 consecutive seasons prior to falling to 6-9-1 last year. But really, the defense actually played very well. They only had 315 points allowed, which ranked 8th best in the league. It was the offense that was the culprit. You lost Sanu. You lost Marvin Jones. They didn't really accurately replace them, like, say, with the John Ross that they got this year in the draft. They lost their offensive coordinator, Hugh Jackson, who went to Cleveland. Then, Adrian Green was hurt. Tyler Eifert was hurt. Gio Bernard was hurt. Well, all these guys are healthy now. They're healed. And, Joe Mixon and John Ross, just the level of explosiveness that they both and the playmaking ability that they offer. So I really think this team is primed to return to the playoffs if the offense can rebound, including, like I said, a better O-line effort. And I looked up their schedule. It's by far the easiest in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to factor in them shooting up the power ranks a little bit as the season continues.
Well, I actually don't have them far off from ESPN.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, I mean, there's obviously, how can I say this without praising ESPN? Because I don't want to do that. But there's intelligent people that work for ESPN, and some of them were laid off. But
Most of them were.
most of them were laid off. But, there's some rationale on that side, too. So certainly when we get, I'd love to hear what your rationale is. Just to wrap up my middle tier, I got the Eagles at 19. I like the Barnett first round, even though most of Philly didn't that night, but they're starting to know that this guy can get after the quarterback. I think he can get like 8-9 sacks on the season, depending on how much playing time, because they're going to rotate those defensive ends and as to not put it all on the rookie's shoulders. But, being compared to the, the minister of defense obviously is high praise. I think it's sacrilege a little bit, even though I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm a huge Reggie White fan. But, I think it was a good pick. I think their defense is bolstered. I think
it was a safe pick.
Yeah.
Because this kid, no matter what, he's going to be productive. Like,
right.
he's a football player.
Right.
He's a good one.
Right. Absolutely. And you got to like them, obviously, signing Alshon Jeffrey and Torrey Smith. Yeah. And 20, I got the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Complete.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Average.
Yeah. All right, here. I'm going to rattle mine off really fast, and you guys can rip it apart if you want. By the way, I messed up my 8 through 10. So 8 was the Raiders, 9 were the Cardinals, 10 were the Bucks, because 11's the Panthers. Messed that up a little bit. I got the Panthers at 11. I got the Queefs at 12. I have the Texans at 13. I have the Ravens at 14. I actually, a little bit higher than you. I have the Bengals at 15. Saints at 16, Colts at 17, Titans at 18 because they need to prove it and they need to earn it. Chargers at 19 and the Lions at 20.
I'm not going to rip that. A little mismatch, but it's way too early. It's kind of hard to.
It's way too early.
Absolutely.
We'll go with it. We'll roll with it. 11, I have the Detroit Lions. 12, I have Washington. 13, I have Denver. 14, I have the Eagles. 15, I have the Giants. 16, Colts. 17, Arizona. 18, Baltimore. 19, Cincinnati. And 20, I have the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I got Texans at 21, so not too far off.
Why so low? It's one of the best. Still one of the best defenses.
Yeah, I mean, they did lose a couple guys, but the offense is it's still shaky because we don't know how the quarterbacks are going to work.
But they've only made the playoffs 6 straight years. But
look how shitty their division is, though.
But they still have no quarterback and made the playoffs.
Well, you don't need a
years.
quarterback to win in that division.
They haven't won the division all 6 years, though.
No, but they've still. I mean,
good. Either what wins you a division is a good defense or a good quarterback, and if you have both, you're set. But I don't think you need both to win in that division.
No, I mean this year you're going to need something because I think this division has definitely gotten better. I mean, Tennessee's a team to watch out for this year,
right.
And with the Colts. I mean, the Colts are fully healthy. Andrew Luck this season. Watch out. Definitely watch out.
Watch out.
I agree with you on the Titans, though. I think they're winning the division.
I think, they're a pretty damn good team.
Yeah, but I still think Texans are making the playoffs. Doesn't matter who their quarterback is because they have J.J. Watt.
Who didn't play all of last season, too, which is pretty crazy.
And they still won the division.
Yeah. Like I said, a shitty division.
I just saw J.J. Watt in that movie Bad Moms.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. That's what I was thinking of. Brian, what's your middle tier?
I got 11, I got the Chiefs. 12, I got the Texans. 13, I have the Titans. 14, I have the Lions. 15 is where I have the Eagles. The Eagles are one of those teams that are in the middle of the road. I like what they did at the wideout position. They didn't do anything with the running back position. I think that's going to wind up hurting the Eagles more than helping. I see Wentz improving after the last season, and they still have a solid defense. So I think the Eagles are going to be a middle-of-the-road team. They're going to be a borderline playoff team. Right behind them, I have the Washington Redskins. I think they have an average offense. I don't think they have a real direct threat anymore since losing Djax. But I think their defense is going to keep them in it. I think they're going to be another average team. 17, I have the Carolina Panthers. 18, I have the Baltimore Ravens. 19, I have the Vikings. And 20, I have the Denver Broncos.
Beautiful.
Not bad.
Good list. Wrapping up mine, I got Houston at 21, Arizona at 22. I got Carolina down to 23. Maybe I'm too low on them. Maybe I'm just a Cam hater. But they were 25th after last season, and depending on how much Christian McCaffrey plays, depending on can Cam be a sore loser as well as a sore winner.
Well, I mean, I was questioning whether or not I was going to put Carolina down in the bottom 20 because of the way Cam played last year, but it's a good all-around team. I think we could see a rebound year from Cam.
Yeah, I'm willing to admit that one could certainly shoot up as the season continues or starts. I'm thinking it's already football season already since we're doing a football show. But 24, I got the Buffalo Bills. 25, I got the Jags. I really think they improved upon their team, obviously, in the running back position. Minnesota, I got at 26. The Los Angeles Chargers, sounds weird saying that, but I got them at 27. I got the New York Jets at 28. I didn't like their draft. I don't think they're really that much improved from last year where they finished 28th in the power ranks. Opposed to these two teams that I have, I'm putting the Niners at 29 and the Browns at 30. I think both of them had the best drafts. Maybe a slight edge to the Browns, but I think the 49ers and rookie GM John Lynch did a fantabulous job for you guys.
I was very, very happy with his draft.
Yeah.
Very happy.
Right.
He basically hit every player I really, really wanted for this team. He didn't reach for anybody. And he set us up for years now with all these picks we got for next season's draft, and just phenomenal job.
Absolutely duped the Chicago Bears,
Smash.
who I have at 31. So I have both of these teams jumping ahead of the Bears and the Los Angeles Rams at 32. And I think the 49ers and Browns can climb up these power ranks based on their offseason acquisitions and draftees.
It sounds nice. It sounds good in theory. I don't see it.
But at least they did enough to get themselves out of 31 and 32, respectively. There's some worse teams now out there for you. Douglas?
Fair. You're saving the best for last. So I got
that'd be Brian then.
I know. Rounding out mine, I got the Vikings. I got the Giants, Eagles. I didn't like their draft too much. I didn't think they grabbed good quality football players. I don't think they filled enough holes with the right players. Like they could have filled, like that first round pick, you couldn't have gotten another safety or a really good corner in that spot. Could have still gotten, one of the running backs that you need in that spot. Like there's a few other positions they could have went instead of defensive end.
Well, I mean, you could argue they got the best cornerback in the draft in the second round.
They did. So that was a great pick. But, where's the help to the offensive line in the later rounds? Because there weren't a lot of high draft. There wasn't a lot of highly rated, offensive linemen. They didn't get any of those. Besides, the defensive end, where's the defensive? There was the linebackers that you guys really need too. You need another guy in there that can actually stop the run, get up there and plug a guy. You really didn't get that in this draft. There's just spots that I felt like they lack, so I dropped them down, and I don't like the roster as currently constructed. At least for this season. Next season is going to be a lot better. I got the Redskins. After that, the Redskins, the Jets, the Bears. Bears just terrible, but they have talent. The Bills, the Rams, the Niners, the Jags, Browns. Even though they had an amazing draft, I still have to put them on the bottom just because they didn't sign my boy Cap.
Seattle's looking at him.
As they should. I mean, he'd be a perfect
They're also
backup.
looking at RG3 too.
Yeah.
Both guys make
As
sense.
a backup.
Both guys make sense. You don't have to change your offense whatsoever.
All right, real quick, I got Saints 21, Jags 22, Miami 23. I think this year, they're a good team, but like I said, they play in a horrible division to, really secure that power ranking. 24, I have the Vikings. 25, I have the Los Angeles Chargers. 26, I have the Panthers. 27, I have the Bills. 28, I have the Jets. 29, I have San Francisco. 30, I have Cleveland. 31, I have the Bears. And 32, the Los Angeles Rams.
Yes. Worst team in football.
Yeah.
Baby hands.
Yeah.
Brian?
At 21, I have the Colts. 22, I have the Saints. 23, the Cardinals. 24, the Chargers. 25, this is where I put the Bengals. Bills at 26. Niners at 27. Rams at 28. Jacksonville at 29. Jets at 30. Bears at 31. And despite their good draft, still a lot of missing pieces for the number 32 Cleveland Browns.
Got it, man. Got it. They stay in the cellar for you. Before we hit the break, what's your rationale with the Bengals? To maybe support ESPN's argument.
I just don't see the depth.
Yeah.
I mean, you have depth at running back. You don't really have that depth at tight end, aside from getting John Ross in the draft. Now, A.J. Green, after him, who's your real wideout threat? Defense has always been good.
Right.
I've always thought that, but there's just no offensive depth.
Right. So everybody's that was injured last year is healthy back now, but how long will they stay injured? And if they get injured, no depth to really provide.
Well, right, and the biggest problem is A.J. Green. He seems to be injury prone. He seems to be injured every year.
Right.
So, I mean, you got John Ross now, so hopefully that can provide some depth and bring Cincinnati up the chart, up the power rankings.
Fair enough. Guys, I think I got a new number one. Forget about the Patriots. Look, Brady's got Giselle. He doesn't need number one. The number one on our power rankings here is the BMW of Atlantic City dealership. They challenged its sales team, and they must sell 100 vehicles, which means one thing. You save. Right now, lease a certified pre-owned elite 2017 BMW 320i with X-Drive, just $299 a month for 36 months. The ultimate driving experience is closer than you think. BMW of Atlantic City, easy to get to. Minutes off exit 37 off the Parkway, or check them out online, BMWAtlanticCity.com. On the other side, we're talking NBA playoffs. We're talking fantasy baseball strategies, all that and more. Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to Hour 2 of Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com. If you want in on dominance, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You search A2DRadio.com. If you got fantasy questions, hit us up, hashtag AskFDN. Who are we? Brian Daly, Mike Kleinkoff, Doug Pitchford, and yours truly, Rob Povia, Matt Cinsuti on the ones and twos, bringing you all the dominance, which is sponsored by the Sports Outlet. For all your sporting needs, go visit them, 703 Black Horse Pike, Glendora, New Jersey. You can look them up online, sportsoutletinc.com, or give them a call, 856-939-2030. So, the playoffs. The Eastern and Western Conference Finals in the NBA, and for that matter NHL, are set, but we're going to be talking about NBA playoffs right now. Wild game last night between the Wizards and the Celtics. What were your guys' impressions of that game and the Celtics coming out on top 115-105?
Very good game.
Yeah.
You know, before the show I was talking with Tom that, this probably was the most exciting game out of any playoff series so far. Maybe even so Game 6 of that series. Just overall, I think the series was probably the most exciting. And behind that, probably the Spurs and Houston, even though, tremendous choking by James Harden himself. But, dude, I mean, are we finally going to see some excitement? This is probably the most boring playoff series out of any sports I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, I mean, that's because you have two dominant teams that are just running roughshod. I mean, it makes the playoffs kind of anticlimactic because you know what the ending's going to be. The ending's the only thing anybody's looking out for at this point. I really, and I think I heard a couple of different NBA analysts bring up this point, and I kind of do agree with it to the sentiment. Like, just make it kind of tough. Like, do something. Like, I mean, those great Chicago Bulls teams, they still had teams like the Knicks and the Pacers that would actually
more powerhouses.
That would push them to 6 or 7 games. You know what I mean? Because they'd actually give them a fight. Like, you had these two teams that are powerhouse teams that nobody's giving them a fight.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, San Antonio did for the first half of that game, and then they forgot that there's 2 halves of basketball. Didn't help Kawhi Leonard got hurt.
Yeah,
but
that sucks, man. That absolutely sucks.
It totally changed that game around.
It changed it totally. I mean, I think at one point it was 28. I know for a fact it was 25-point lead that San Antonio had. I mean, and they were coming back with San Antonio, not really known for taking 3-point shots, but they were nailing them.
Right.
And they were matching everything that Golden State had in that game, and it was just, I was like, damn. I was like, they're going to win in the Oracle. Like, that doesn't really happen.
No, they don't lose at home. No, that was a great game still, too, though.
Yeah, it's still a great game, but I was so pissed off when I saw that he got hurt. I mean, the first time he twisted his own ankle off of the, stepping on his teammate, and then the second one with Zaza coming in a little too close on the after his shot. So, I mean, definitely Pop wasn't too happy about that.
No, if you watched,
great speech.
Oh my God! Pop, this is what makes Pop magic, man. He's a 5-time champion. Like he can say whatever he wants. 5-time.
5-time.
Man, I don't. How do you feel about that?
See, the thing is, I know Zaza Pachulia is he wants to be a dirty player so bad, but he's not.
Yeah.
And, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. I don't really see it as a dirty play per se, 'cause it's basketball.
Yeah.
Grow a pair.
Which they haven't been lately.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it has gotten soft. I
Yeah.
forgot who actually came out and said, like, the NBA's gotten really soft.
Oh, dude, it's horrible.
It is soft, man. Like, what happened to guys, like, what happened to guys pushing and shoving? Like, I want to see the fights. I want to see those, my New York Knicks, Miami Heat fights. I want to see Jeff Van Gundy, being dragged by Alonzo Mourning, at his ankle like a little Chihuahua dog. Like that was that jam, bro. That made me love the NBA.
Yeah, man.
Like
Instead, you're just seeing players flop all over the court
all day.
Yeah, I'm watching soccer on hardwood, bro.
Yeah.
Like Bradley Beal.
It's a good reenactment. Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, Bradley
Man up,
Beal
fool.
last night.
Yo, Bradley Beal
But
is a fool.
I don't think he had intent, although it did. I mean, I could go half and half with this. Like,
He definitely wasn't trying to get out of the way.
yeah, that's for sure.
And I don't blame him for that. This is a competitive game. That's not my, you falling on me is not my problem.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I do love what Pop said, and that was manslaughter. That's not that. There's no intent. You could be texting your phone and hit somebody. You didn't mean to kill somebody, but you did.
You did it.
Yeah,
You're responsible.
And that's what he's kind of
right.
Referring to with Zaza now. He's like he's done this a couple times. He's like, even with David West, his teammate now. He got into a fight with him before when he was on San Antonio, and I think he was with Dallas at the time. And they just, to me, I mean, I never saw Zaza this way.
No, Zaza's a grinder, man. I love Zaza Pachulia, yo. He's one of my favorite players to watch just because he doesn't care. He does what he does his job and fuck everybody else.
Yeah. To me, I mean, Kawhi's already considered doubtful for tonight's game, which is a shame. But
it's not a shame. I mean, it was kind of predicted at this point. Like, he's banged up, bro.
He's been rough down the stretch, but I mean, come on now. Like, the little excitement that we were about to see is gone already. Now the only excitement we're going to see is the finals, which is that really going to be exciting? Probably going to see the same two teams for the third straight year.
It's been a while since we've seen that.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen that, but do I really want to see that again?
If the Spurs or Celtics, respectively, are able to beat what's the given, what needs to happen?
Well, I mean, to me, the Spurs without Kawhi Leonard, they played good. I mean, they still look good. I mean, it's Pop coaching the team. They're going to look good either way. But I just at this point, I don't think it's possible. I think they could steal a game in San Antonio.
No, it's possible. I mean, the entire Golden State Warriors team charter could, crash into a mountain.
Well, I mean, come
it's
on.
Definitely possible.
I don't like them, but I never want to see any of that happen. But so you're basically saying slim to none. If you're saying that it's going to take a bus crash for them to lose.
I mean, despite the Cavaliers being undefeated in this year's playoffs, I think Boston stands more of a chance of upseating that, king of the ring, so to speak.
Yeah.
And because they're getting good secondary play. I mean, we saw this in Game 7. Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah.
26 points. The Great White Hype. That's why they won that game. They're down 2 going into the second half and outscore the Wizards by 12 in the second half thanks to the better part of his 26 points. Al Horford, been a beast on the boards, really leading both teams in rebounds per game in that series. So if that continues to support their star Isaiah Thomas, because I think that's the only crack you can put on the Celtics. Maybe they don't have enough around Isaiah Thomas to knock off a Cavaliers team.
That's the thing. The Cavs are so deep. I mean, you got, like we said before, Darren Williams is coming off the bench. I mean, this guy could be a potential starter on another team.
Right.
Nah, not anymore.
No, I mean, he's older, but he was with Dallas before he got hurt.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, he was still starting. This guy is capable of still, he's one of the better three-point shooters that I've seen, too. I mean, he's got Tristan Thompson, who I think is going to be a rebounding beast in this series. And, you got K-Money, you got Kyrie, LeBron. I mean, who else? You got J.R. Smith.
The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
Shumpert. Nice. You said K-Money.
Broken.
K-Money. That's my boy, yeah. not
But
really.
where's the love?
Yeah. I can't give him love because my man screwed me over like 15 times on Fanduel this year.
I just hear that tiny violin playing, bro. That tiny
Every time I
violin.
play him, I'm just like, why am I doing this to myself? It's him and Draymond. Why?
Because you play them the wrong games.
Right. Well, it appears like there's dynasties forming here. I mean, certainly you could say with Cleveland, Golden State 2 years in a row. Brian, like coming from the hockey aspect where dynasties are a part of the tradition of hockey, is it good for the NBA to have, the same teams battling again in a rematch if it works out that way? Or is it bad for the NBA? What's your thoughts on that?
I want to say it's bad for the NBA because you get tired of seeing the same teams over and over again. And I think it actually kind of hurt MLB a little bit when it was the Yankees year after year after year. With the NHL, you had a little span where it was Chicago and LA. I think me as a fan, I like to see different teams every year. I just want to see different winners. I don't want to see the same team over and over and over again. I think it hurts and it makes it boring. It's just like, Blackhawks are going to win again. Looks like Cavaliers are going to win again. It becomes predictable.
I think league parity is great for all sports.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, with hockey, it's nice seeing dynasties, though. I know you're rooting for a back-to-back
Yeah,
situation.
of course, yeah.
This man is not. So we won't
No,
even.
I am
That's
not.
pretty clear. But where you get those dynasties, there's a little bit because hockey does have great parity. You're always seeing different teams, making it into the playoffs in the lower half, and you do have regular teams like Chicago and LA. I mean, I agree with Brian. I think we get a Golden State Cleveland rematch. I would expect record lows in terms of ratings. That's just my prediction.
I wouldn't. I
No?
mean, like the NBA, you forget the NBA is not built on parity, though. It never really has been. I mean, you've always had dynasties within the NBA. I mean, there's a reason why the Lakers have 40-something championships. There's a reason why the Boston Celtics have 26 championships. There's a reason why the Chicago Bulls have 2 3-peats.
Yeah.
To their credit, what I mean. We talk about these teams ad nauseum and shit because they were dynasties.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it is great, but at the same time, it isn't. And I'm only saying it's not because look at where the teams are. Cleveland's 8-0 so far in the playoffs. Golden State 9-0 so far in the playoffs. It's like there's no competition at all. I mean, and like when I go think about hockey, you had the number 1 team in Washington going up against, I guess arguably the worst team in the East with Toronto, and they made that a 6-game series for a team that had 7 starting rookies. I mean, that's pretty phenomenal. That's something I want to watch. I don't want to watch Golden State's going to blow out Portland by 40 points again tonight.
Well, I think that has more to do with the super team than it does anything else. I mean, granted, there's always been super teams within dynasties, but it's never been to this extent. I mean, where you have elite top level talent all playing on 3-4 guys that are elite top level talents all on the same team. That really hasn't happened too often.
No.
I mean, even those great Lakers teams with James Worthy and Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you know what I mean? Yes, those are all-time great players, but I mean, you couldn't say that James Worthy was, a top 5 player in that league right then and there. You couldn't say that because maybe top 15. I mean, when you look at Cleveland as currently constructed, you could honestly make the argument that they have 3 of the top 10 players in the league.
Yeah. Separated, they're probably not.
No, separated they probably are. I mean, Kevin Love would be back to being 25 and 15.
Yeah, I think Kevin Love would be better if he wasn't on Cleveland.
Exactly.
But
same thing with Kyrie Irving. If he's taking more shots, he's going to be that guy averaging 28 a game. LeBron, if he's on his own, is going to be back to scoring 34 a game. That's why I said top 10 talents. They have you could argue that team is 3 of the top 10 talents in the league. You could argue that with Golden State too, with Klay Thompson, Durant, and Steph Curry. You haven't really seen that too often in the NBA. So that's kind of where I feel like that's where more of the issue lies. You know what I mean? Because you don't have these players should be on other teams, giving these players a fight.
Yeah, for sure. It's just tough. To me, it's just been so boring.
It has.
And I love basketball too. I mean, it was one of the sports that I actually grew up watching. That and football, and it's just to me, it's not even fun to watch right now.
Bit watered down.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm not excited. Last year, I was actually really excited. I was like, oh, Cleveland. Last year they were looking for that revenge series. Now it's
it's a rubber match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's get the people excited. Predictions time. Who wins each respective conference finals and how many games?
I'm going to say Golden State in 5 now with Kawhi being out. If he comes back, I'm going to give him 2 games. But, I mean, it's really tough for, San Antonio to come back there. So I'm giving Golden State in 5. And Cleveland, I'm going to say in 6.
Cleveland in 6.
Yeah, this is going to be a good series. I think this series might be better than the Golden State San Antonio series, actually.
Is Kawhi done long term, short term, or just they're not saying anything?
They're not really saying much other than he's doubtful for tonight, and usually doubtful means that it's pretty significant.
Right.
Yeah, they come from the New England Patriots school of injury, so you're not going to know anything till game time.
Yeah.
Obviously, if Kawhi can play and be effective, I would say Golden State in 6. If he can't play or if he's just not effective, it's an easy sweep. They're not.
I don't want to say sweep, but I'm gonna give San Antonio 1 game at home.
I can't
lose 2 games at home back to back. It's just nothing in San Antonio's.
Pop will one win.
Yeah.
I don't even think Pop could will a win. There's just not enough talent.
So the Warriors get to the final 16-0 in the playoffs.
Probably.
That's crazy.
Probably.
That's crazy. And then the Boston-Cleveland series?
It's probably the same thing. I'm not as convinced as you are that this is going to be a good series. I just don't see – they just don't match up well with Kyrie Irving. That's more of the issue.
Yeah.
Avery Bradley is a very good defender. Marcus Smart's a very good defender, but Marcus Smart, he's a very good on-the-ball defender especially. But, I mean, Kyrie Irving's got that handle, bro. And then you got LeBron. They have no one that can guard LeBron. I mean, Jaylen Brown might be able to give it a go, but, I mean, he's only 6 fouls.
Yeah.
That's kind of the problem there. They don't have enough. So this is a sweep. This is going to be another sweep. They'd be lucky to get a game.
Wow.
I hope not. I want it to be a little exciting.
Yeah.
Come on.
Get a sweat on.
Yeah.
I can't see it, man.
No. You and, most of the country really is it's been clamoring all over articles, all over the net. I'm still holding on hope to, my pre-playoff prediction of Spurs Celtics. It looks very unlikely right now. If they can get Kawhi back in, Pop can will the miraculous and really coach that team. Hopefully it'd be like an epic 7-game. That'd be great for the NBA. It'd be great for the playoffs for them to move on. So just for the case of argument, I'll pick the unlikely scenario, Spurs in 7. And, yeah, I agree with you, Doug. As much as I'd like to see Boston represent the East, I think Cleveland's just too strong, too deep. And coupled with LeBron James, when did he turn into such a great three-point shooter? I mean,
He's shooting better than Curry.
Absolutely. He's letting it go, and it's good. You're like, good. I mean, it's been what can that man not do? And I think that's been the only crack on him in terms of, always the comparisons with Michael over there.
Yeah.
But Michael was always a better scorer. Is he trying to, really work on that aspect of his game? I think he's trying to win babasketball games. Personally, that's all.
Of course, he wants to be the GOAT.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's just the evolution of a baller. I mean, you saw the evolution in Jordan. Jordan wasn't always a great jump shooter. He made himself a great jump shooter. You know what I mean? That second half of his career was all about the jump shot.
And that's exactly what the NBA's game turned in today. You need to have a 3-point shot, or you're not going to win.
Right.
And now LeBron's turned himself into one of the better 3-point shooters this season. And that was one of the things he lacked. And I believe in the last year's finals, he was 1 for 9 from downtown in game 7?
Yeah.
And it was just, insane. Now he's, I saw a thing that he was shooting 47% from the 3-point line in the last series, whereas Curry was shooting 46 in his best season. So
absolutely. Brian, last word. Who you got going on to the finals?
I'm going to be that guy. I'm just going to go Spurs and Celtics.
Hey, I'm right with you. I hope. No, actually, I wasn't that guy because I did pick Cleveland. But I like where your head's at.
I was just going to be that guy.
Hey, what do you need? A chip in a chair. That's all you need.
Got to know when to hold them, though.
Yeah, you do. Maybe some of these teams need to, need to hold them. Absolutely. Well, thank you, gentlemen. I'll let the people know about Soap Stash. They are a show sponsor, and they want you to treat your skin with the best nutrients and feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all their products, which are 100% natural. Contact Soap Stash today for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197. Look up their selection online, soapstash.com, or check out their Facebook page, Soap Stash LLC. That's a great place to order, always posting specials, so on and so forth. We got one more segment for you all, and we are getting to the fantasy baseball strategies. We have a little time. We'll rattle off who's on our Cooperstown Mount Rushmore, and we'll give you your poll results for who's going to have the biggest fantasy impact come fantasy football time from the 2017 NFL draft class. All that and more on the other side. You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on a2dradio.com.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, a2dradio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to today's Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com. If you want in on the dominance, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You search A2DRadio.com. If you got fantasy questions, hit us up with the hashtag AskFDN. Brian Daly, Mike Kleinkoff, Doug Pitchford, Rob Povia, Matt Tsutsudi is on the 1s and 2s. So let's dip into a little bit of fantasy baseball, and this is brought to you by Liberty Event Rentals. For all your party needs, give them a call, 267-314-7368. Check them out online, libertyeventrentals.com. Just to start it off, boys, start off the discussion. I'm going to give the AL and NL Players of the Week. Mookie Betts is back. Last week, 3 homers, 11 RBIs, and an awesome slash line of 375, 483, and 917. Earning AL Player of the Week. You know, it was only a matter of time before he heated up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What was a little more surprising on the NL side, the winner was Dodgers left-handed pitcher Alex Wood.
Hooray!
Last week, won 2 games, 11 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 21 Ks. So, you know, Mookie Betts isn't available in your league, but if Alex Wood is, I would suggest swooping him up.
He's laying the wood, bro.
So let's talk a little fantasy baseball strategies. You know, we'll start off with some droppable players. Who currently is at the top of your list, boys?
Oh, man.
My entire roster.
Oh, man. I mean, there's so many, dude. I mean, Tulowitzki comes to mind first and foremost. A player I dropped much earlier in the season who I know is still rostered on quite a few teams. He's a guy
Dunzos.
Like, he's toast, man.
Yeah, I wasn't high on him in preseason. I could see that.
Yeah.
You know, it's been pretty hard because in our league, my offense is, you know, pretty damn good. But, you know, my weakest position right now has been catcher with Jonathan Lucroy. I mean, he's very highly owned, and I feel like it's a guy you can't just drop.
Right.
But 7 runs, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs on the season?
Yeah.
That's horrible.
That's droppable, bro.
That's, you know, that was definitely one of my questions. Maybe I could throw in a package deal and try to get somebody a little bit better, but he's definitely been by far my weakest player this season. So
yeah, he's had a horrible season so far. There's no lie about that. But you got to imagine that it's only uphill from here. I mean, he hits in a great lineup. Weather gets warmer down there in Arlington, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he is adjusted to the Rangers organization now, so you know, you can't really use that excuse or what have you. But, yeah, I would suggest packaging them, not straight dropping them. Purely, if we were talking another position, I'm right there with Doug. But catcher, there's few and far between this season.
Yeah.
No, there really isn't. It's a very scarce position. But I don't know. I just it screams out drop me.
Yeah.
I just wound up actually dropping Yadier Molina. He's not the Yadier Molina of the past. Batting .270 on the year. It just hasn't been Yachty.
Yeah.
Just hasn't been Yachty.
Yeah, the whole Cardinals team for that matter. A guy I was really high on in our draft, Randall Gerchik. You know, he's just been really horrible so far this season. I mean, it's tough for me to say drop him now because he seems like he's just starting to heat up over the last 2 games. But, I mean, I'm dropping him as soon as Cespedes comes off the DL because he's got 40 Ks to 10 walks. Just disgusting, you know, not the contact rate that I was hoping for.
Yeesh, yeah, that's rough. I mean, another guy who I was never super high on to begin with, but, you know, it's a guy that was producing early, now is just completely cooled off, Steven Suarez Jr. You know, 44 strikeouts, 20 walks. I mean, the on base is still relatively high. He's walking at a much higher clip, but I mean, this is yeesh.
No, I said this while we were on break. A guy for owners of Starling Marte, what do you do with him? Currently in ESPN leagues, he's 36.5% owned, which is, to me, shocking. I know in both leagues, right now I'm an owner in him, and another guy has still kept on to him in my other league.
Right.
So, I mean, for For season-long leagues, like unlike ours where, you could keep players, what should a person do there? Do you think somebody should drop him or just hold that spot and wait for him to come back?
I think you got to drop him at this point. It's a shame that you can't put a suspended player in an inactive spot or in a DL spot because neither is appropriate. He's suspended. They should develop a suspended slot for how many suspensions there are this day and age. I think you could drop him, and I don't want to steal Doug's thunder, but he made a great point during the break that you can drop him now, and then, maybe with like 20 games left, 15 games left, maybe, if he's still available, swoop him back onto your team because he can, give you, top 5, top 10 outfield production. That's where people drafted him as, probably where you drafted him at.
Yeah, it was one of those things where my computer is really weird. So if you slide the keyboard the wrong way or like the pad, it'll go to another screen, and that's what happened to me, and I end up getting Marte and Billy Hamilton, which isn't the worst thing ever.
Right.
But
True.
I mean, 2 great draft picks there, but it was just, I feel bad because he's my boy, So it's hard to drop a guy. I mean, right now he's definitely not a guy I'm keeping.
Right.
So it's not.
That becomes an issue too. Yeah, I mean the only way, like if you're talking, you're in a 10, keeper league like that, maybe I might hold on to him. You know what I mean, for the purposes of
which I am. And the guy said, I just want a pitcher, and I tried sending him a pitcher, and he's like, no. I'm like, all right, man. I would have held the spot.
Other guys that I'd advocate dropping real quick, I'll just brush through them. Carlos Gomez, he's already expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks with a hamstring injury, but he really wasn't doing much beforehand. I mean, he's been a bust, I think, overall. I mean, if you look at his career numbers, I'll bring it up really quickly. I don't want to waste too much time with minimal time left in the show, but look at that career marks. Where are your career marks? I was just looking at this earlier this morning. You're looking at a lifetime 256 average, a lifetime 728 OPS. He's breached the hit mark, the 1,000 hit mark with 1,038, but that's in 4,052 at bats, 120 homers in that same amount of at bats, obviously, and he has 1,043 strikeouts to 272 walks.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not living up to all the hype. Everybody's trying to trade for him, and really damaged goods. I mean, the only thing I think he's done effectively, he's got 244 stolen bases in 1,242 games, so not terrible, but I would advocate dropping Carlos Gomez. He's not going to be back for a month and a half anywho. Chase Headley, definitely time to cut bait.
Yep.
Those numbers are really coming back down to below, his below average state.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Vince Velasquez, you definitely got to drop. He's not a starter, and until the Phillies smarten up and put him in the pen to close games, it really may be time to cut bait. He averages 5 innings per start, good K numbers, but too many walks, 3 per game, roughly about average, and it offers a high whip. I think you can drop him depending on a 16-team league. Maybe you hold on to him, but anything smaller than that, you can drop Velasquez. And last but not least for me, Jerry Reese Familia. I really hope you didn't listen to me and ball low on him last week, but who saw a blood clot coming? I mean, every Mets fan this year did. Because the injury bug is officially in Queens. But,
I dropped him.
He's likely done for the season, or if he comes back, it's very late, so not really worth a roster spot.
What they say, 4 to 6 months or something like that? It was something ridiculous.
I've heard as little as 3. It really depends. It's not,
so he was a guy that, already pissed me off because he was suspended.
Right.
And then they land on a DL for whatever reason it was before.
Right.
And then they hear this. I'm like, fuck him. What a waste.
Any other guys we're dropping?
Trevor Story, man, it's time to go. I mean, left shoulder strain. He's on the DL for a few weeks, but more importantly, he wasn't doing anything before that anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that storybook season was just that, a storybook season.
He really is Troy Story too, huh?
Yeah.
Just another Troy in Colorado. That's just
basically 180 on the season, man. 6 homers, 15 RBIs, 18 runs scored.
With a team that's been playing great.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Hot garbage, bro.
Cray. Absolutely.
Another guy that I actually am advocating to drop as well is Maikel Franco. I mean, I think it's time.
Yeah, I think he's another one that's kind of not turned into what they thought he was going to be.
Yeah, he's hitting 209, 5 homers, 25 RBIs. I mean, it's not there right now. You just let that walk. You're wasting a roster spot there at this point. There's a couple other guys here that I can't think of off the top of my head, and that I also haven't already been mentioned.
Do a video. There's your video right there.
Yeah.
Bam.
What do you guys think about Jason Kipnis? He's only batting 2 or 3 this year. He's got 7 runs, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs.
You got to give him a couple more weeks, but if he doesn't start to turn it around in the next couple of weeks, he might be another guy that's also just discardable.
Agree, because I mean, he's behind the curve. He missed a lot of time, so allow him to sort of go through his extended spring training in the bigs.
Yeah. I mean, just 2 days ago, he went 4 for 5, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. So
yeah, maybe
I'm hoping he's going to catch a little fire in his ass and get me some points here, man.
Absolutely. Moving on to returning players. JD Martinez. He returned with a vengeance this weekend. He had 2 homers alone on the 13th. So, probably people held on to him, but in case he is available in your league, swoop him up. He's back in the lineup. Rich Hill has returned as well to the mound. He starts tonight at San Francisco, which is a good waiver start if available in your league. Although manager Dave Roberts has put the pressure on Hill, stating if tonight's start does not go well, Hill may actually be moved to the pen. I don't think Roberts really fully means it. I think, although other pitchers have filled in very well in Hill's absence, minus Urias' last start, I think Roberts is appealing to Hill's competitive nature as a man and prompting him to step up already, because all this time missed with fingers issues, it's pansy work, if you ask me. I mean, I know blisters can be, awful for a pitcher, but, he's got to step up his level of competitiveness, much like Taijuan Walker was challenged last year. And I think, putting the pressure on tonight, I expect a pretty good performance for one Rich Hill.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. A guy that I definitely am advocating is Aaron Sanchez. If for whatever reason, if someone dropped him, based on his elongated, yeah, I know. His elongated absence, definitely pick up Aaron Sanchez. Solid start coming out.
Elongated? What are you watching, that Michaela Maroney video? It's getting a little elongated?
Hey now.
No, I'm only looking at him because of what he's been trying to do to me lately.
Oh yeah, I had offered aforementioned Aaron Sanchez in a trade to one Mr. Kleinkoff here.
I think he offered him to me too.
Straight up for Altuve.
Good deal.
To you.
It's a good deal, period. Watch.
To you.
Please.
Holy shit.
Hey, man, you're talking about a guy who had a 2.1 something ERA last season?
Yeah, last season. Now he's got a blister.
Right.
And we saw what happened with Hill.
It's not a
last
blister.
2 years.
You
said hangnail. That's what you tried to lie me with.
No, it was a hangnail.
I went and looked it up, and he has a blister on his finger. So
it was a hangnail. They removed part of his fingernail.
So less control now.
No hangnail now.
We're starting to run up against it, so certainly hit us up offline. Any other returning player advice? We'll probably put out a video this week.
Chris Tillman,
absolutely. So with 2 minutes left, really quickly, we talked about Cooperstown, Mount Rushmore. You're put in charge, and you have to pick which 4 players you're going to put their bus on that mountaintop. What I'm going to go with Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, Hank Aaron, and Mickey Mantle. I think those are my 4 all-time greats. Doug, what say you?
They have to be in the Hall, right?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you would think, but...
Well, because one of my guys just should be in the Hall, and he's not. My 4 would be Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, excuse me, Barry Bonds. Got to put Barry Bonds there.
Right.
And Greg Maddux, believe it or not. I think he's the greatest pitcher of my generation. So
that came up on Sunday as well. Mikey?
Yeah, I'm going Ruth. I think we all go Ruth. I'm going my hometown hero, Roberto Clemente. I think he was one of the faces of the MLB at one point.
Right.
Definitely Hank. And I'm going Ken Griffey Jr.
It's also a good one.
Ken Griff?
Yeah.
Can't go wrong
The
with
kid.
Griff,
I love it.
I love it too.
One of my favorite players.
Great player.
Can't go wrong with Griff.
I did not go Babe Ruth. I went Ken Griffey Jr. I went Greg Maddux because I agree with Doug. He was definitely one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher growing up. getting to watch him. Pete Rose, and believe it or not, Derek Jeter.
Jeets.
I think Derek Jeter, not only because of what happened this past weekend with Derek Jeter getting his number retired by the Yankees, he was really one of the best hitters of our generation. Definitely one of the best hitting shortstops. It's just Jeter. He's Jeter. That's all.
That's all.
I feel you, man. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can take this. You know, I'm looking at 8 to 10 MVP years. I'm looking at maybe minimum 15 to 20 year career. Guys that excelled in many positions. I mean, that's why I think Babe Ruth needs to be up there, not just because of the myth, but because as dominating of a hitter as he was a fabulous pitcher too. So people could say, you don't have a pitcher on your mountain. Yeah, I do. Babe Ruth. You know, Ty Cobb, you know, he's an asshole, absolute, you know, spiking players or whatever, but arguably one of the best hitters of all time. I mean, Pete Rose, you know, I'd love to put Petey up there too. You know what I mean? It's a tough call between the two there.
Cheater.
Yeah.
He's a cheater.
Well, I mean, it's such a tough conversation because there's so many different players out there from so many different generations that were great. Like I almost put Mickey Mantle on my list.
Yeah, I love Mickey. If he didn't step in that drainage ditch, what could have, you know, what, I mean, he already topped the 500 homer plateau. He might have been, you know, up there with, you know, maybe not 700, but definitely in the 600s, like Willie Mays. Willie Mays is another name that I think you could put on here too. It's a tough question. I heard this over the weekend. I definitely wanted to get your guys' input real quick. Talking about input, definitely got some people chiming in on the book. We got Vinny Mastinen answering our question of, you know, which member of the NFL draft, the 2017 NFL draft class, that'll have the largest fantasy impact. He agreed with me. He goes, Fournette, he's going to be a workhorse. In his opinion, McCaffrey won't get the touches that Fournette will. I think that's as a pure running back. I think McCaffrey can come close, you know, if they're putting him in the slot. Also, you got to count touches on the you know, punt and kickoff returns too. So it'll be close, but I definitely agree with you, Vinny. Let's go to the Twitter poll. Currently with 50% of the vote, Christian McCaffrey coming out on top. 25% to Fournette, 13% to Corey Davis, and 12% to Jamal Williams. I think people might be sleeping on Jamal Williams, not as familiar with the other three.
That's all right. That's all right. You'll see it. You'll see it when he's scoring touchdowns and running over people.
Absolutely. So still time to vote, people. 21 hours left. I'm going to be curious to see what the final results here. You can mark it down for your early fantasy football draft strategies because not a lot of people out there, they're purely fantasy football. So we wanted to throw you a bone this week, talk a little fantasy football, you know, with a lot of way too early power ranking positions and assessments for the 2017 NFL season. So, you know, if you missed the show, definitely you can check us back beginning. You know, if you got any questions, fantasy-wise or other, tweet us with the hashtag AskFDN. So, with that being said, I want to tell you a little bit about BMW of Atlantic City. They sponsor our lovely studio here, and they challenge its sales team. They must sell 100 vehicles, which means you save. Right now, lease a certified pre-owned elite 2017 BMW 320i with xDrive, just $299 a month for 36 months. The ultimate driving experience is closer than you think. BMW of Atlantic City. Easy to get 2 minutes off of exit 37 on the Garden State Parkway. Check them out online, bmwatlanticcity.com. That being said, last shouting point, Doug, I want to give to you. You wanted to say, when is it time to add that injured player in fantasy baseball?
Oh, it's always time to add that injury player in fantasy baseball. No, obviously most opportune time. You know, always check the waiver wire on that. About when he starts baseball activities. The second you see a guy started throwing, started swinging the bat, anything that's real baseball activity related, and he's come back from the first instance with no issue, that's perfect time to start looking to grab.
Swoop in.
Real quick, next season I'm going to, like I said, 10-person keeper league. Adam Eaton, is he worth picking up at the end of the season to hold as a keeper?
He's worth picking up in August to hold for the rest of the season.
There you go.
I'm sure he's free agent right now in my other league, so.
There you go.
I hope they're not listening, but I am.
He should be a free agent in all leagues right now, to be completely honest with you. I mean, I realize he's a great player, he's a dominant player, but he's out for the year. ACL injury. There's no sense in holding a DL spot for that.
No doubt about it. All right, that's our show. You want to keep it there, A2D Radio, 3 o'clock. You'll see Brian, myself, Matt Cinsudi comes behind the boards to host a brand new Hockey Happy Hour talking Eastern Conference Finals. Hopefully for this, it'll be a happy time for this man. That's
And
Mikey
this guy
Kleinkoff.
here too, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian Daly, Doug Pitchford, Rob Povia. We'll see you next time, and want to wish my mom happy birthday.
Hey.
Take it easy.